Okay. All right, guys. Team Next Level call. We're talking 80-day obsession. I love that they're giving us like meal ideas too, like a full day's plan of and they're posting what plan Autumn is and what she's eating. So great. Okay.
Hey, Stacy.
Yes.
Hey, make sure you mute everybody because I hear a feedback.
All right.
Yeah, so mute everybody. Chris is going to be hopping on, and then it'll be good.
Okay. Okay. Now, is this good? Josh, you're muted though. So unmute yourself if you need anything. Wow, it's so quiet. Let's get our mindset right. Let's take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Wow, I'm like a trainer now. Should I get certified? All right. So excited, guys. And since I'm recording, a huge thank you to Josh for putting on these calls. Can we just like a little round of applause for Josh? We love you, Josh. We know how much time it takes. We know how much you think about us. We know how much you care. And you're even kicking it while you're on vacation and you're here tonight. So thank you. Yeah, I mean, pen and paper ready, guys. This vulnerability is so good that Chris is sharing with us because it really encourages us to be vulnerable with our audience, right? And with our team and with our challengers. Because man, I had to grab a tissue last week, you know, like it's that heart connection that you feel with him that I'm sure you guys felt at Super Saturday too. And when I first saw him, just, you know, we were working out at the Success Club trip and just people were flocking around him because his words bring such life. And I just think that we can all be encouraged as we're waiting for him to hop on, to remember that our words are super powerful and that we can not only speak to ourselves, but we can also speak to others and that it is powerful and we're making a difference. So make sure too, you guys, that you can write any questions in the chat. I will try to, you know, ask, like Chris can probably read them once he jumps on, but if you have any questions during the call, make sure to write them in the chat.
Hey, Stacy, he's on now. I see him.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Sorry, guys. Hey, Chris.
What's going on?
What's going on? I can't even see you right now. I wish I could see you. That's so weird. Okay, maybe arrow over. Hey. Thanks for being here tonight. Oh, we're so excited on behalf of all of the entire team. Thank you for round 2, inspiring us. You guys, this is Chris Downing. He is the creator of Shift Shop. I thought it would be fun. I did Strength 50 this week. Hands down, one of my top 5 favorite workouts that I've ever done. So just for fun, post your favorite Shift Shop workout in the comments below so Chris can see them, because with that sandbag and Strength 50, it was great. So Chris, thanks again for being here. Our hearts are so open to hear what you have to say tonight. We are just feeling that place that you brought us to last week, and we are encouraged to share that with our challengers, with our coaches. You know what I mean? Like just sharing our story, because we feel so personally connected to you that I know that as we share our individual stories that people will connect with us. And I think that's the whole beauty of this family, right? So before we continue, guys, and before Chris, I'm just going to pass the mic over, but can we do like a little, you know, selfie, like a little picture for Instagram stories? Is that okay, Chris?
Yeah, that's good.
Just because, you know, you're like famous and stuff. We love you. We love you. And it says Josh Spencer under my face, so that's kind of cool. I got to take a picture of that. All right, cheese. Okay, guys. So, Chris, thank you for being on. We are excited. I'm going to mute myself and then we'll go. I just told everyone to like write questions in the chat for afterwards. And thank you again for being here.
All right. How y'all doing? Everybody doing good? Nice. Jen, I feel like you have some kind of joke or something. Because I'm looking at you and Emily, and I feel like y'all texting back and forth. I know y'all a little too well. All right, yeah. I can tell when you two are up to something. All right, so let's talk. So how you guys doing? Talk to me. What's different? Let's take about 5 minutes, and if anybody has something to share, like what's changed since last week, for the good, or what have you realized, or yeah, anything, anybody? You mean tell me nobody has nothing to tell me? All right, I'm gonna start calling people out. All right, Emily, you first. I can't hear you. Hold on. Is she on mute? Uh-oh. Where you go?
Can you unmute yourself? You got it? Okay.
Hold on. Uh-oh. Oh, did I do something wrong?
That's
Hold
weird.
on 1 second. Click if you want to switch microphone or speaker. Hold on. What did I do? All right. Did I do something here?
I don't know, Emily, it looks like you're unmuted from my end.
Yeah.
That's weird. Shoot. I don't know what to push. You want to just write it? You want to write it in the chat?
Maybe I did something.
I don't know. I just hit.
Oh, snap. I can't control anything, right? No.
I don't think so.
Hey, it's not you guys. Hey, Chris, it's Josh, by the way. What's up, dude?
What's up, Josh?
What's up, man? I don't have service, so it's like awful signals. So that's why Stacy's
right.
I super appreciate it. But it's not just you. I can't hear her either. So
it's the headphones. You have to take the headphones off.
Yeah, I think she has to take the headphones off. So I'm gonna mute myself because
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
There it is.
Hey! Technology. Things are good. Things are real good.
That's it?
That's it. Like super Saturday lit a fire under me, and then with new program releasing, like just I don't know.
Yeah.
Man, this is my year. There's no stopping.
That's what I'm talking about. That's it right there.
See, Jen's proud.
Nice. All right. Can somebody have a story? Come on, Caitlin. What you got for me?
All right. Hey, I've been trying to really focus on the whole who I am inside. Like you talk about that a lot. Figuring out who we are so that we can be better in all aspects of our life. And so that's really what I've been trying to focus on this week. I've had such a physical formation, and in the last year, I feel like I just kind of got stuck at a plateau inside. So that's really what I've been trying to work on the last few months, but especially last week, trying to figure out who I am, who I want in my life, the kind of people that I want to inspire, and so forth and so on. So that's what I've been focusing on this past week, especially.
So have you been? You say you've been focusing on it, or are you trying to figure out which one?
Both. I mean, I figured myself out lots of times in my life. You know what I mean? I have a baby, so that changes everything. That's as she's crying on the monitor. So yeah, I think it's both. I think I'm focusing on it as I'm figuring it out, kind of.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right, Lauren, what you got?
So a lot's changed in the past week, I feel like. So after the call, I had to turn off my call. I told Jen and Emily that I had to turn off the video because I'm just sobbing the whole time, because it just kind of made me realize a lot of things that I've kind of known who I am, but kind of not. But the part of me that I've known who I am, I've kind of sheltered in fear of people judging. I've kind of been that way my whole life, worrying about what other people think. So this week I've really worked on just letting me be me and not really caring what other people might think. And if they don't like that, then they don't need to be in my life, kind of thing. And just really embracing who I am and really trying to dig deep and figure out who I am. So, I was thinking about your story with the Whole Foods too, of just knowing that I have this whole place and not to just settle for something little, and just really taking advantage of everything that I have and all the opportunities that I have. So yeah, lots happened in the last week.
Cool. Anybody else want to share? So I have to call anybody out and make them uncomfortable. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Hannah Montana. Give it to me.
Want to share?
Take your headphones off.
I had to unplug, so you'll hear my kids watching TV. I just wanted to say, and I actually sent you a message before this, that the 80-20 thing you talked about in parenting really struck a chord with me. And like, I'm all nervous. If you ask literally anybody, I have 4 kids, they would tell you that, like, that is my life. I am a mom before anything else. But I think with a lot of resentment that I have toward certain close people in my life, I haven't loved them to my full potential.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying.
That's dope. I love it. Okay, cool. Don't get emotional on me. It's all good. I love it. Anybody else? I'll start.
Oh man, Chris, I was thinking a lot about the pizza and the chocolate milk. And why is it that I'm afraid of success? You know, it was such a weird thought to think about. I'm like, that is really interesting. Like, I could just write that down. I'm like, I don't know. And, you know, the fact that you forgave him like the way you did was so powerful to me, because it freed you, right? Like, it doesn't, that resentment robs us and creates darkness in our hearts. And I was so encouraged. I could not believe that story. That was amazing that you just made that decision right then. Yeah. And you had that other feeling that you wanted to do the other thing, like crack his face or whatever you were saying, you know. I just was so moved. Tissues. I was like, give me a tissue, somebody. The fear of success. I don't know if you can elaborate on that or what you've experienced.
Absolutely.
With that.
All right. Bring it on in. 1 minute. Everybody just close it. Close all the distractions around you. Don't even worry about your kids. I'm going to teach you a good point here. Let your kids roam for 1 minute. Don't even have enough faith that everything's going to be okay. They're not going to get into anything, because I really want you to lock in. Just breathe. Thirty seconds. Seconds. 3, 2, perfect. Okay. All right. So there's a couple highlights that I want you guys to pick up to hear me out on. What's up, Just? How you doing, man? What's going on? So I came across a post this week that I thought was just powerful. Like, it was just, and I mean, it's hard for me to, like, when I go on social media to, like, see other people's posts, because all I see is mine. Because all I see is a lot of times is something related to Shift Shop. And Emily had one of the most powerful posts this week. Yeah, see, it was dope. I'm just gonna tell you, like, why it was so dope. And it was so dope because she's on the beach, and what she may feel like in the past was an imperfection, she made it absolutely perfect. And what I mean by that is, like, she had her glasses on, she had this face, she had on a little tutu, whatever you want to call it, and her little bathing suit. But she exposed herself and her thoughts. And I just thought that was powerful to me, because she was like, talking about the fries and where she would eat, and she just like she put it out there. And so what was so epic about it to me was like it was you ever hear somebody say, just put your foot down? She put her foot down on herself. She acknowledged herself. She acknowledged where she may be imperfect in her own eyes. But most importantly, she realized where she's perfect. And when I say that, I mean by she just said, this is who I am. That's the first step to uncovering and unveiling any mystery in yourself, is right where you are, just accepting this is who I am. Everything that I've done up until this point led me to this place. You see what I'm saying? And I just thought that was powerful, man. That was just so dope to me, because it was like, you know what? This is, I'm at peace right now. I'm at 100% peace right now. Right, wrong, or indifferent, however way you want to look at it. This is who I am. This is what I represent. And you didn't say it like this or like this, but if I want to eat a pizza, I eat it right now. But you said, and those words, it was just a boldness to say, hey, guess what? You might catch me with this. You might catch me with that. That is the rawest, most realest, most incredible thing that I saw this week in a post. Because from there, you are in complete control of everything you do. There's no mystery. There's nothing to hide. There's nothing to be insecure about. You are at like ground level. And now at this point, and then you made another powerful confession. This is my year. Like, you owning all the spaces that you're in. And sometimes, guys, the reason why I chose her for this brief moment was because, again, if you don't know who you are, you don't know where you're going. If you don't know who you are, you don't know your flaws. If you don't know who you are, you don't know your strengths. And at that point, once you know both of them, it's chess. Your life is a checker. You're playing chess with your life. That's it. And so how I want to tie all this in to everybody is the number one step to truly like creating the life you want is owning 100% of everything. Like, it's got to be almost comical. Like, I can't believe I did this to myself for like 20 years or 30 years. Like, I really self-sabotage myself. Like, why you do that to yourself? Like, you got to embrace that moment. I mean, it might be a bad thing. You laugh it off. But then it's got to be like that's peace. That's so much peace in that. There's nothing to hide. And then when you actually go to that paper and you know, all right, it's buckle down time. Here's my paper. I have nothing else to hide. Every decision I make from now has got to reflect this paper. Has to. 100%. Today I had a moment. I had a legitimate moment. I don't know if because I didn't get enough sleep last night and I was a little emotional. I don't know what it was. But I honestly like told myself, you ain't dreaming big enough. And I got some dreams, y'all. Like, I got some serious dreams. Like, and I had to tell myself, like, I'm disappointed in you because you're not dreaming big enough. So I went back to my letter and I'm like, I started changing some stuff. And what was so cool is the moment I finished it, I had peace. So it was like my purpose was telling me, like, that's big to you? Like, after everything we done been through the last couple of years, really? Like, this is what you confessing every day? You obviously don't know how much more is inside of you. And the moment I changed it, I had this complete peace all over me. And so when you have that peace, guys, and that peace overtake you, you got to protect that peace. Because there's going to be things that happens that want to invade that peace. And it can only get to that purpose through your eyes, through your mouth, through your ears. That's it. What you see, what you listen to, what you confess. Say it again. What you see, what you listen to, and what you confess. Now, when you see certain things, your eyes are locked on it. Eyes is the gateway to the soul, right? So when you see things, you have a choice to make. How are you going to connect with that emotionally? I'm going to go a little deep tonight, like a little deeper. When you see something that you may or may not like, let's just go that you may not like in your physical world, how are you going to engage with that emotionally? Ask yourself that question. Because remember, everything wants to get to that purpose. So when you see something, what do you do when you usually see something? The next thing that happens is what? Some form of a confession. right? You see your imperfections. You see something. You see something, right? You're going to say what you see. And then, depending on if you say this around somebody, what happens? You listening to their response, right? Did I lose you guys? You with me? You see a situation, you're going to confess something, good or bad. And then if you say it around somebody, how they respond to it is another component. That's why the only voice that you need to master is the voice that's connected to that paper. That paper is the final word, the final decision, and everything you do. Over the weekend, I had a situation where I kind of asked everybody, what's like the common problem, would you say? And you would never believe what came up at all my locations I went to. The marital support in the home. Oh, I'm like, oh, cool. All right. So I broke it down. I said, all right, ladies, let me explain something to you. You gotta understand, as a man, we're kings. We are. And as a king, in our minds, we want to provide security. We want to lead our family. We want to take care of our families, right? However, as a king, it's a little hard for your wife to potentially make more money than you, number one. Number two, it's kind of hard for a king to allow his wife to venture off into a business that's pretty much all commission based and get disappointed because he's got to clean up. He's got to pick her up, because if he doesn't pick her up, it's going to affect the family. Also, here's another point. As a king, and you working in a factory or you work in construction and all this labor and it's wearing on your body, the last thing you want is the fear of your wife having success and that drifting her away from managing the home. I'm just telling you the thoughts of a man. So there's a bit of a resentment there where it's like, I don't want this to take her away from this, because as a man, we need you. Like, we need your nurture. We need that. So that's a threat to a man. So I told the ladies on the trip, I said, you know how you can win your husband over? Make sure he knows he's still the king. Here's one way. Everyone was preparing for this call. Sign of hands if you struggle. And I don't want you guys to raise your hand if you're struggling at home. That's none of my business. If you are struggling at home and there is some kind of an issue, how many of you, before this call, went up to your husband and said, sweetheart, I got to hop on this call. Is there anything you need before I get on this call? Okay, good. Were you at any of the Super Saturdays, you cheater? Because I gave y'all some nuggets. All right. So in a man's mind, that is making him priority, right? Even though he might say, no, I'm good. You planted a seed. After the call's over, go up to him, kiss him on his forehead. Thanks, sweetheart, for allowing me to do that, take that call. Again, that's going to break him down. That again tells him that you're giving him priority again, right? You do that enough, it's going to break him down. He's got to give you your space because you're acknowledging him before the call. You're acknowledging him after the call. You see what I'm saying? That's empowering to a man. That lets him know she's still managing the home while handling that. He might act stubborn. He may do whatever, but that's another key. Second, the fellas have to let the women soar, man. You have to, because women these days, they're just cut from a different cloth. They are. They're not the Mayberries anymore. They're just not that type of woman. They're cut from a different cloth in the sense of they can do multiple things. They can do hard things. They can do hard workouts. They can manage a lot. Like I tell all the fellas, I don't care who you are. I can't handle a menstrual cycle. It just ain't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm just gonna tell you right now. I get a little cramp from drinking some hydrate or something when I'm working out. I'm hurting. I take a second. But that 7 days of cramps and you know what? I can't do it. I'm man enough to admit that I just can't do it. So you guys are just a little stronger and nowadays than men give you credit for. So I'm encouraging you right now to go for your dreams, guys. Like, please, like you women are empowered. Like, you guys are really empowered. Go for your dreams. You're emotional. Be emotional about your dreams and goals. You see what I'm saying? Be very emotional. All right. So now I got all out of the way. Let's get down to the real topic. All right. I want you guys, and I'm just going to be straight up with you. I want you to stop trying. Stop trying to figure out who you are. Stop trying to figure out what your purpose is. You already know what it is. It ain't difficult. It's not difficult at all. What do you want? That's the answer to that's the question and the answer to both of those situations. There's nothing to try to figure out. How are you going to try to figure it out? What do you want? What do you really truly want? It's that simple. And as I've said time and time again, complimenting that letter is how you're going to attain that. Your life has to mirror that. It has to mirror every aspect of that. Where we get in trouble is where we say we want something, but we do something else. There's all the conflict right there. One of the hardest things that really helped me after I forgave that guy, yeah, I had peace. Yeah, I felt better. But at the same time, like, I honestly felt bad for the dude because I realized he was sick. But me holding on to that bitterness, that unforgiveness, I was just as sick as him. I just didn't know it. But it was his sickness that was carrying him, was an anchor in my life. Like, he attached that to my life. He legitimately attached his sickness to me. And I hadn't seen the guy for 20 years. Imagine somebody I haven't seen in 20-something years still have a hold of me. So my question to you is, who still has a hold on you? Because I'm telling you right now, whoever it is that has a hold on you has a hold of your destiny. Who still has a hold of you? One of the hardest things to do is to let the emotional part of the scar go from somebody who either offended us, broke our, did something to hurt us. That's one of the hardest things to do. But at the same time, it's the most rewarding thing. But my question is, why are you holding on to it? Especially if the person isn't around. Like, why are you giving them that much control over your life and not even being around? Why are you giving them that much power? Because there's a bigger picture here. Like, you absolutely cannot fulfill your dreams and goals if you don't have an Emily moment on that beach. And what I mean is acknowledging everything that's going on inside you. You got to acknowledge it. Your purpose is trust me, once you acknowledge it and you step in your purpose is going to wipe you clean. It's going to heal you because it's a God-given gift. And anything created to God is perfect. It's going to heal your mind. Think about your mind. Think about all the tormenting thoughts that you've had over the years from different situations, being backstabbed, being abandoned, being rejected, being cheated on, whatever situation may have been, all the mental torment you had to deal with work and jobs and bosses and just issues at home and issues with family and issues, all the mental torment, all that warring going on in there. What is it worth to you? There's a bigger purpose on the inside of you that you can't allow anybody to affect, guys. I hate to say it this way, and I'm being 100% honest with you. If no one on this call fulfills their purpose, it's your fault. It's not the other person's fault. Because the only control that anybody can have is the one that we allow them to have. I had a situation happen to me yesterday, y'all, that really told me, you have really grown up. And I'm going to just tell you just how deep it is, just so you guys know that I'm not walking around here skating. happy life. My life is great, but I have challenges also. Here's a situation I had. I had a person about a month ago had needed a surgery, like a really bad surgery. It was emergency surgery, right? And their deductible was $4,000. Like this surgery was like life or death. Like you got to get this fixed, but they didn't have the money. So I loaned them the money, right? I can pay you back in January. Okay, no problem. Didn't think twice about it because I thought about the person's well-being. Well, situation happened yesterday where this person was very hurtful towards somebody that I knew. And I had to like talk to him like, well, where's your mercy? Because mercy was presented to you. Like, why are you attacking that person? Like and I had the right to say that to this person because I know them both. And I'm like, that's kind of wrong. And the person that I gave the money to is getting audited. And so I said, you should show mercy because mercy was shown to you when you needed it, man. I just think that's wrong. I don't care what you think, and I ain't giving you your money either. And I giggled. I said, oh, okay. So now I'm faced with a situation. Here it is. Remember, what I saw, my mouth, and what I'm listening to. I saw something I didn't like, spoke on it because I'm close enough with both of them that I could speak on it. And then I heard an attack on me when I didn't do nothing to the guy. I did nothing to him. But he said, well, I'm not giving you your money either because I'm getting audited. First of all, that don't have nothing to do with me. So I paused for a second. I said, okay, Chris, this is your moment. This is it right here, man. Everything you've been telling everybody, everything you've been preaching to people, not preaching, but explaining to people about your purpose. I said, okay. So I processed first. I said, that's on you, man. That's how you feel. I'm boiling. Like, what did you say to me? So I had to make a decision. He said, I'm getting audited. And if I get audited, I got to use this money. So honestly, I ain't going to give it to you. You know what I told him? I said, something that was so awesome about what you just told me? If I had $1 million right now and you needed 50,000, 100,000, I would have gave it to you without blinking. I want to thank you right now because it just cost me $4,000 to never speak to you again. You just saved me so much money. Keep it. Looked at me like, what? Keep it. But from this moment forward, don't ever contact me again. Keep it. It cost me $4,000 to get rid of you. The part that was deep in that, guys, was this. As people get close to you, they cost you more. And it's crazy now. Remember, when I was in trouble and going through that, the process of elimination, people left. But then there's still residue around me. You see what I'm saying? And the higher you start climbing up success, some of that residue is going to start exposing itself. This is a person that I would have given anything to. Thought was my friend. Consider them close. And I'm pretty good judge of character with people and who's around me. But the people I lost before cost me being put in newspaper. Okay. I lost people before. Maybe they didn't pay me for a training package, $500-600, never speak to them again. But this one stung. This was a $4,000 lesson. So I got a choice to make. How many more of these $4,000, $5,000? Actually, it's going to be more because this person gets eliminated. There's still people around me. See what I'm saying? My question to you is, the people you hold close to you, that's close to your purpose and your destiny, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you to get rid of them. You got a choice. You can willingly get rid of them, or you can go through what I went through and get rid of them in a way that's a little painful. For me to tell him, you know what? Keep it. I could not let him get in here because inside here is millions. Millions. I can take that $4,000 loss as long as it doesn't affect this. Because I can take this and create whatever I want because I've been doing it. See what I'm saying? What if I would have gotten into a situation and allowed resentment and bitterness it wouldn't have affected him. It would have affected me. But this person is close enough to me that it really alarmed me. Like, it really alarmed me. Like, I got to check my circle. Like, I really got to check my circle, because this was a legitimate disguise. Christmas, didn't have the money, blessed them. Here's $1,000, man. Here, take care of your family. And then I gave him another of that for the surgery. Wow. Keep it, bro. But I'll never speak to you again. And I have peace, though. After I got through it, got worked out in my heart, I got peace. He got to live that for the rest of his life. My whole point is, check your circle. The closer you get to walking in your purpose, your circle is important, because your circle has everything to do and the most impactful based on what you see, what you say, and what you hear. That's why I'm so adamant about you guys giving your husbands and your wives the love and affection they need, because you're going somewhere and you don't want that. That's going to cost you. Divorces are expensive. I'm telling you right now, that's a chunk. You see what I'm saying? So why not fix it? Like, I used to be so against prenups. I told Dana, you signed a prenup. Straight up. I'm like, we get married, you sign a prenup, dude. Like, for real. She's like, I'm not signing a prenup, then we're not getting married then. You gotta sign this paper. Because, like, I understand, like, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. So my whole point, I want you to understand is, like, I consider all of you guys, like, mentally somewhere today that you weren't 2 weeks ago. Yes, some of you still have to write your letters. Some of you have to engage. Some of you have to really connect with where you're going. But I want you to understand that, like, success brings situations, and it presents situations to you. And the only way these situations can come in and affect you is if you allow it. I'll say it again. Success presents situations. And these situations can affect you. Why would you go through all you've been through, all the pain, all the struggling, all the sacrificing, to allow somebody to just take your dream from you? Seriously. Just take your dream, all the hard. And here's the thing about it. When I say take it from you, is they just stab it. They just kill it. They kill it because they got in through resentment. They got in through bitterness. They got in there. I'm not asking you to walk around here with, like, eyes all over the place and all paranoid, because it ain't about being paranoid. It's about being wise. Inside of you is the ability to change a nation. You don't have to be a super trainer to change the nation, guys. Every life your team touch, guess what? You touch. Because you're duplicating yourself. You're duplicating your principles. You're duplicating your gift, your purpose. So every life they touch, you touch. What is worth that? What is worth that? I had a buddy last week, man. He's all bent up over this chick. Been dating her forever. I love the girl. I think she's a great person. And, like, they having problems, and they split up and separated for a little bit. And my man's is going crazy. And I'm like, bro, let me explain something to you. You know how many women there is in this world? Like, you are talented. You getting ready to jump off the deep end and ruin everything that's inside of you over what? She don't want to be with you, then let her go. Yeah, it's going to hurt for a little bit, but inside you is a purpose that can give you another one, an even better one. It's going to actually complement what you want to do with yourself, complement your lifestyle. Isn't that so much better? Isn't that so much better? He said, you never really broke it down to me like that. I said, bruh, she leaving for a reason. Let her go. You don't know why right now, but you'll be thankful later. The closer you get to your breakthrough, you're gonna feel resistance. And it's going to be heavy, real heavy. I don't mean to freak you guys out on this one. A little cousin of mine, he's been dealing with like some mental, like just like personality stuff that like he told me, he's like, cuz I just feel like, he said, I ain't crazy, but I just feel like all this stuff is going on inside of me. Like I got other people inside me. Not, I don't hear voices or nothing, but I got other people's emotions inside of me. And I looked at him and I giggled. And he said, what? I was like, bro, that girlfriend of yours, like, I'm not going to, I'll keep it in my house. Fine. I invite you guys over, but I told you from day one, all the dudes she messed around with, you got a piece of every last one of them. All that's worn inside you. He said, what you mean? I said, that mental torment, you never really had mental torment, right? But you remember Jacob she used to date? Remember he was mental? Where do you think that came from? All that stuff passed through that chick and came right to you. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, bro, this is real. Like, this is real. Like, you got to be careful who you with. Straight up. Because you're getting somebody else's stuff. That's no different than our circle of influence. Think about it. You ever have a friend that has a certain laugh or does something a certain way and you end up mimicking it? Like, seriously, that's the same thing. It doesn't have to necessarily be sexually. It's who you're around. And they might have picked that up from somebody else. So what if I told you right now, a lot of the doubt and a lot of the worry and a lot of the fear isn't even your fear. It may be somebody you connected to that got it off of somebody else and it presented in your circle. And now you got it because you hang around that person. I told you this is going to go way deep. And all of this, guess what? All the negativity is warring at your purpose because whatever the negativity is knows you don't know who you are. So when it knows you don't know who you are, it's coming to abort it because it already aborted their dream. It already aborted their goals. It already aborted their philosophy, their hope. It already stole it. But then they come into a disguise. They come to you blinded, pretending like they want something. You ever been around a friend that say they want something, but they never have the actions to reflect it? Get away from them, man. Something is subliminal. Something in them, that spirit of procrastination and all that, get away from them because it's coming on you. All of that's coming for your purpose, your target. And you know how I know this is true? Look at the world. People crazy. Losing crazy, like legitimately crazy. Because they got a whole bunch of other people's stuff. They don't even know who they are. But you got this purpose. Now do you see why the letter is so important? That's your foundation, man. That letter will save you from so much. Because in that letter, even people, this is deep. If Carl didn't represent that letter, I wouldn't be with Beachbody. If Jack didn't represent that letter, I wouldn't be with Beachbody. If you guys didn't represent my letter, I wouldn't be on this call. People who come in your life for the good reasons, they complement that letter. They in that letter somewhere. If you could look at a person and be like, you ain't here, you ain't here, you ain't here, you ain't here, get rid of them, run. Because that right there, that person is being driven by something. Like when I used to talk about the cartoons where it's the devil here and the angel here and you in the middle, man, that is reality, y'all. That is for real. We listen to voices all day long. We being influenced all day long through thoughts. You being influenced by a good and an evil. I'm sorry, I hate to tell you, call me cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs if you want to, but I'm telling you right now, you being influenced all day long. Ever be on a diet, all of a sudden have a craving for sugar? Where do you think that came from? I'm just being simplistic about it. Ever feel like you got to work out, but you don't feel like it? Where do you think that came from? You being influenced all day long. But it's about being present in that influence. That's why I had to sneak in the letter concept. But now that you guys are understanding the letter, I can go a little deeper. It gets deeper. Like you're being influenced all day long. And that influence is telling you, Does this represent the letter, or does this represent the letter? It's decisions all day long. All day long is all about decisions. And every decision is connected to your purpose. We abort our own dreams. We abort them. And if someone's around you, it's because you allowed them to abort it. But at the end of the day, you have the final say of what you become. So you're saying, what does this have to do with my coaching? Here's the powerful thing. And it's not a manipulative tool. I'm willing to bet you 90% of your team don't know who they are. But you're the head. So wherever the head goes, the body follows. You're the leader of your team. So you want to get your team on point, you got to be the head. You got to be infectious. You got to dominate that space by knowing who you are. Because what happens when you know who you are, guess what happens? They're going to know who they are. And when they know who they are, they teach their people who they are. But if you don't know who you are and they don't know who they are, this is why your business is doing this. It's inconsistent. Some days you want it, don't even realize you want it. Some days you off of it, don't even realize you off of it. Here it is. This is why this is what creates, this right here is what creates inconsistency right here. Because if you know who you are, it's impossible to be inconsistent. Does that make sense? So if you apply that to your business, being consistent, success is inevitable. You don't have to look for success, guys. Success is going to find you because you know who you are. And you got a birthright. And in your birthright, when you came to this earth, there was a bag for you of everything that you're supposed to accomplish and everything you're supposed to have. That bag has to find you. And in that bag is everything: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, success. But if you don't know what's in the bag, then you're going to take anything. You're going to take depression. You're going to take fear. You're going to take anything because you don't know who you are. You don't know what's in your bag. One of the most powerful, like, pagan holidays to me is Halloween. Halloween is just so powerful to me because as a kid, you walk around and you get candy. This is so deep. You got this, when we was kids, we carried this pillowcase and everybody's wearing a mask, right? Or you in some kind of disguise. And it's almost uncommon to have your regular face. You have to be in a disguise. Well, guess what? Remember how you used to get all the candy, go back to the house, and what'd you do? Dump all the candy in the floor and go through it, right? Make sure it wasn't contaminated, all that stuff. Remember all that? That is for real. You got to check the candy, make sure nobody put something in it before you give it to your family, before you give it to your kids. You took the mask off. You took the disguise off, right? Some of us never took the mask off. We walking around with a mask. Spent Halloween for like 10 years, 20 years, because you don't know who you are. That's heavy. What if I told you, as successful as I've been, and I've been on a roller coaster for 39 straight years, I've been wearing a mask. That freaked me out. In fact, I had on a whole costume. When I forgave the dude, I took the armor off, but I still was wearing a mask. I was wearing a mask because I was still somewhat afraid to tell my story. Why is it that my story is the one that's touching people's lives? I ain't got no problem telling people I was molested now, but I still was wearing a mask. Big, strong dude, healthy guy, model guy. Didn't even know he was molested twice. Didn't know he was dipped in a bathtub when he was 6 years old, beat with an extension cord. Didn't know any of this stuff because I was ashamed of it. I had one more thing to get rid of, and that was the mask. But when I took off the mask, I wrote down that letter. And when I wrote the letter, I connected emotion to it. And that was my purpose. So take off the mask, guys, and be the person you was created to be. Whoever hurt you, let them go. They wearing a mask too. Free yourself, man. Free yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Free yourself. There's a person on this call right now They can't accomplish anything they want if they set their mind to it. I'm looking at it. Like, I'm seeing nothing but just successful people right here. To me, I'm seeing it. I know for a fact. Everybody on this call has a why. Everybody. Take off the mask and look in the mirror and look at yourself. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. You ain't got nothing to be afraid of. Everything you need has been in you this whole time. All the success you want, it's your choice. You take it to whatever level you want. Because when you know who you are, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, however way you want to go about it. You're not delusional. You're not crazy. No, you're in a perfect place right now. It's up to you to take advantage of it. I don't care what people told you, man. I don't care. Here's the crazy part. Most of the times when people put you down, they weren't even talking about you. They was talking about themselves. That's the honest to goodness truth. When people backlash you, they really backlash in themselves. Because that's really how they feel about themselves. But it just comes out at you. All of this stuff affects us from walking in our purpose. Now imagine being in a mindset that you really don't know all this is happening. Now you see why people are going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They're going crazy because it's like, oh my gosh, why is all this happening? It's too much. They don't know who they are. Isn't that heavy, man? Emily, you had no idea that you was going to be the foundation of tonight's call. But that was so powerful to me, man. That was the most powerful shit I didn't seen in so long. And it just seems crazy. Like, how'd you get so much out of that? Like, I looked at that, almost text you. I looked at that and was like, this is dope. Like, it just broke it down. Like, you just put it all out there. That was incredible to me, man. Like, something that you was like, I'm just gonna put this. I ain't afraid. No, I'm just playing. It was the realest thing. Like, and then when you just compliment and said, this is gonna be my year, like, you gotta stay in that. You gotta stay in that place. You know how hard it is to get to that place? You know how much you gotta go through just to I ain't saying you gotta expose yourself to the world. You know how people don't even expose themselves to themselves? When a person tell me it's hard for them to write that letter, I'm like, why is it hard for you to write a letter to yourself? I don't understand why that's hard. They're afraid of success. You're afraid to be successful. You're afraid to really tap into who you're supposed to be. So when people say they're afraid of success, that's what that is. They're afraid to be who they're supposed to be. You know why? Because up until that point, all they've ever heard was they can't do it. It's impossible. All kind of fear, all kind of rejection, all kind of backlash, and it's become their new normal. So just the thought of having success is so abnormal, you don't even want anything to do with it. You're conditioned to be scared. What are you scared of? How are you scared to be happy? How are you scared to have peace? How are you scared to be able to put your kids through college? How are you scared to live the life you really want to live? That doesn't make sense to me. But really it does, for the simple fact that if you don't know that's what is in your bag, because this is all you've seen. Does that make sense? All the lies, all the manipulation, all the mental perversion of telling you you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be this, you can't be that. Seeing people leave, seeing people die, all that stuff war against your mind, man, and your emotions, ultimately affecting your purpose. All right, I'm gonna leave it open. I got 15 minutes. Anybody have anything?
I'll say something.
Please.
My favorite man up here. First of all, like, wow. Whew. Take me a while to process all that, but that was good. So after last week's call, I was thinking back to last year, and last year was my first year as a coach, and during the summer I was doing really well and hit diamond and all this stuff, and like people were just flocking to me. It was crazy. And then I kind of went meow and was trying to figure out what happened. And so after the call last week, I kind of thought back to that time of when I was doing so well, and that was when I was doing Shift Shop and listening to you every day. So I know this is kind of corny, but I decided that every day this month I was going to listen to you for my personal development.
Do that? I'm joking.
Yeah, because when I listen to you talk, I love your passion and your love for people, and I want to be like that. I want to have that same emotion, not to be you, but I want people to see that in me. And so I've been doing that every day, and it truly has made a difference. And I noticed today, like, I have been nonstop busy. I signed up like 2 people. I've had people messaging me left and right. I know my posts have been different. I sent you my results, and I posted my results, last week, and someone commented on another coach who shared them. She was like, those pictures are fake. They're photoshopped. And I was just laughing, and, normally someone would sit there and be like, oh my gosh, how can they say that? And I was like, this is the best day of my life. Like, this is awesome. This is a huge compliment. And I posted about it. I went live, and I was like, guys, they can't take that from me, because I know how hard I worked. I know I didn't cheat. I didn't take any quick fixes. Like, I put in the work, and I worked my ass off left and right, and nobody will take that from me. And I knew, like, 2 weeks ago, I probably would have felt completely different, but just, listening to you and thinking about the letter and all that stuff, and just every single day, like you said, I think about the choices I'm making and how they affect me, and is this pushing me to my goals or further away? And it really just has made a huge impact. And I've noticed immediately, like you said, success will find you, and I'm just like, bring it, let's go. I am so ready for this. So just wanted to tell you that.
I love it. I love that, man. I love it. I think the best part was when they say those are fake. Like, guys, we don't owe anybody an explanation. You don't have, the moment you start defending something, we give them power. We don't have to defend shit. Like, that's her problem. Like, that ain't your problem. That ain't your stuff. So, like, we don't need to be defending ourselves. You don't need to defend your business. You don't need to defend anything. Walk in your power. Let your power talk. I had a person, I was talking to a person the other day, and they was talking about, their stats with another person's stats, and it's just bickering. I'm like, first of all, why are you giving them that energy? And another thing, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. It is what it is. I mean, it's black and white. It is, hey, like, what are you arguing for? You know what the numbers are. You don't owe him an explanation. Forget it. So, anybody else? You guys see where I'm going, though, man? Like this whole thing is one here. It's nothing to do with this and how ripped you are and how you get this. You got it. You got it, man. You got it. You're unstoppable. It's the hardest thing to get. It's that. And the reason why it's hard is because you ration with it so much. Like, it's really so simple. Just, what is it? All right, Stacy, you got to give me something because you took a lot of notes. Come on, help me out here. What you got?
I know, I love it. So good. I love that. And people that leave, they're not meant to be anyway. You don't need them where you're going. And I love that part of it. And I love that, the people that hurt us, they are wearing a mask too, and it's just, I was at a Brendon Burchard conference a couple years ago, and he was like, you can write a letter as if, like, so my uncle said something really hurtful when I was 12. He basically said, you look great, you're cute, but whenever you open your mouth, nothing important comes out. When someone says that to you when they're 12, that leaves a mark, right? So Brendon was like, write a letter. And it was my cousin. She's like my best friend, and it was her dad. And he's like, write a letter like your uncle is writing one to you. And that was so powerful to me, because my uncle maybe had certain reasons why he said that, because maybe he was protecting his daughter, because we are opposites. brunette, blonde, different body shapes, different things. And I'm like, oh, Uncle Randy was probably doing something, and it really helped me to put myself in his shoes and to write me a letter from him. Not that I know everything, but it was just really freeing to understand. And it's so much easier to forgive, it's powerful to forgive.
So powerful.
I love it.
Anybody else? Come on. Jen, talk to me, man. Come on now.
I knew you were going to make me say something. And I'm actually over here like, okay, so do I talk about this or this? First, I'm still, don't hate me, I'm still not done with Grit, but it is such a great book. Oh my gosh, if you guys haven't read Grit, if you never did, Chris, I'm taking pictures like every day to send to my team, and I mean, it's just, the entire book is amazing. The other thing is that I felt myself this week, I'm detoxing. I got my detox tea here, and I feel like I want to eat my arm off. And every time I'm thinking I could just go eat some meat right now, I'm like, but Chris says, if it's not in line with your purpose, if you know where you're going, if you know what you need and what you want and where you're focused, you're not going to go eat meat because you're not supposed to, and that's not going to get you closer to where you want to be. And so all this week I'm thinking, Chris says I can make it 5 days without meat. And if my goal is to get this done and to get results and to follow through and to get to where I want to be, then you're not going to do it. And literally, it's been bad. I needed a detox, like super bad. But it goes to all parts. Was what you're doing right now. Like I sit down and put my feet up and think, is this what I need to be doing? No, I need to be talking to people. And so everything I'm doing, I'm much more purposeful and thinking, is this going to where I want to be tomorrow, next week, in a year? And that's my big goals. My big goals need to be driving my everyday behaviors. And I think of that much more even just this week since we talked last week, because a lot of times it wasn't. I'm doing things like, oh, I could just have a bite of that. And that's not going to, no, I need to finish this strong, and I need to do things that are going to get me to my purpose. And I just think of that in all aspects, in coaching, in my own personal journey, getting ready for 80-day obsession, everything. So that's just my one huge takeaway is every step. I mean, you have every hour you can change your behavior. You can pick the next thing that you're going to do. And if it's not getting you closer to your purpose, why are you doing it?
Exactly. Here's another thing that you guys can take with you on a daily basis. Every decision you make today is for tomorrow. It's the honest to goodness truth. Think about it. And I'm going to go a little graphic. I don't want to gross somebody out, but think about what I just said. Every decision you make today is deposited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's day. Think about it. When you eat something, when does your body release it? Normally the next day, right? How powerful is that? I'm being practical. Like you're eating and your body releases it what? The next day. That's deep. So every decision you make that's not eating is for tomorrow. So that alone, if today does not look good for you, that's all the more reason to make sure you're doing X, Y, Z. So tomorrow when you wake up, today has got to be better because yesterday I made all kind of deposits. Think about when you deposit a check after a certain time. It's available tomorrow. Or if the check is big enough, it's available tomorrow. But they trick us by saying if it's under $100, it's available now. Think about it. If you put a big check in the bank, you ain't getting that check today. It's got to clear. Your decision's got to clear at midnight. I'm telling you guys, everything is literally in sync. And once you stay that connected, life is so much easier. So much easier, man. This is multi-million-dollar advice. I'm telling you right now, if Josh's whole team applied this, not only are you guys going to be more successful, he's going to be more. I'm willing I want to do statistics on this. This for 12 months, this team did this. For 12 months, this team was crazy. This other team over here was being crazy. Didn't know who they were. I guarantee you guys' stats are higher. Like, I want to know. Because where the head go, the body follows. It's too much power in that group for y'all to fail. It's impossible to fail. The only way you're going to fail is if you don't know who you are, but it's too late because you already know who you are. You see what I'm saying? It's so easy. It's so easy, man. So, all right, 3 minutes. Somebody got to have something for me. Other than that, does everybody have y'all got headaches or something? Your head just feel like this? Come on, man. Somebody's got to say something. Come on, one of the fellas. Come on, Justin.
Hey, I'm a fella.
Where you at?
Well, it's Josh. It's Josh, man.
Oh,
What's
I see. I thought you was in the mountains, man.
I am in the mountains. That's why I'm not hosting the call because my signal is awful here. But anyways, man, I just want to say, because I know you got to go here shortly, but dude, you just I don't want to say effing, but you rocked it, man. I mean, you just absolutely killed the call. We got 3 guys here. We're all snowboarding together. We're sitting here listening and just freaking going crazy about how you were just so on point about everything that you were talking about. And you're right. I mean, once you just get out of your own way and you start realizing who you are and embrace who you are, the magic happens, right? And not just that, it's about surrounding yourself with people who are like you. And it's kind of funny. And I was just telling the guys this as we're sitting here. I was like, I just wrote a post about this just this morning because here I am on this mountain with 3 people who are in line with who I am, the integrity, just good people, you know what I mean? And I've made a conscious effort over the last 5 years to shift from being around people who do bring me down, because I think that's the case with a lot of people who are on this team, on the call, everywhere, right? Is we're always around people who are constantly bringing us down and we don't understand the impact that they are having on our lives. And when I consciously made that effort to shift it, and I shifted to people like the 3 guys that I'm sitting around right now on this table listening to you, things change, man. Things changed. And it's incredible how much it just brings you up instead of brings you down. So I love that you addressed that. I just wanted to say that, man. And I really appreciate you taking the time to be on the call. So.
Yeah, guys. All right. I'm going to leave you with this one thing since we're done. My grandma told me this before she died. I was 12 years old. I never understood until I got older. She said, honey, you don't eat dinner with everybody. So what do you mean? I didn't understand what she said. You don't eat dinner with everybody. When you eat dinner with somebody, that's one of the most powerful forms of intimacy, is dinner. That's why when families would gather at the table and eat together, that's intimacy. Think about lunch. Lunch is you normally at a location surrounded by other people. So you eat lunch in public. You don't eat dinner with everybody. You do a business move, you always do it at lunch. You don't do it at dinner. Because if you invite somebody over for dinner, that's intimacy, and they're getting in your circle. So process that one. And I don't know. I'm gonna call Josh in about a month and see where y'all at. We gonna have to do it again. I gotta follow up on y'all, man. So thanks for listening, guys. And I care, man. That's all I can say is I care. I told you all this is bigger than fitness. I can give you all the bells and whistles of Shift Shop, and it's gonna keep you right in the same place. But if I give you this, you can take this and accomplish anything you want, man. And that's the truth. All right. All right, I'm out of here. All right, Josh. See you, man.
Thanks, Chris. See you later.
See you, brother.